In this video, we are breaking down 10 specific morning mistakes that most people make without even realizing it, and more importantly, exactly how to fix each one starting tomorrow. Your alarm goes off, you slam snooze 3 times, finally drag yourself out of bed, scramble to find clean clothes, skip breakfast, and rush out the door already feeling behind. Sound familiar? You are not alone. Millions of people start every single day exactly like this, and then wonder why they feel exhausted, unfocused, and unaccomplished by afternoon. But here is the real question worth asking. What if your morning routine itself is the hidden culprit silently sabotaging your productivity before your day even truly begins? Not your workload, not your boss, not your circumstances, your morning. The decisions you make in those first 60 minutes carry enormous weight throughout your entire day. That small decision to delay and postpone quietly sets the tone for everything that follows. Hitting the snooze button repeatedly every single morning. It feels harmless, even rewarding, like you're stealing a few extra minutes of rest. But here's what's actually happening inside your brain during those stolen minutes. When your alarm goes off, your body has already begun its natural waking process. Cortisol starts rising, your body temperature increases, and your system is preparing to transition out of sleep. The moment you hit snooze, you're forcing your brain back into a new sleep cycle it cannot complete. This creates what scientists call sleep inertia, that heavy, foggy, disoriented feeling that can last for hours. You're not getting rest. You're getting fragmented confusion. So how do you actually break the snooze cycle? The simplest fix is also the most effective one. Place your alarm clock physically across the room. When your body is forced to stand up and walk, you interrupt the pull back into sleep. Another powerful option is a gradual light alarm clock, which mimics a natural sunrise and eases your brain out of sleep rather than shocking it awake. But the most important fix of all is this. Commit to a single, non-negotiable wake-up time every single day, including weekends. Your body operates on a circadian rhythm, an internal clock that thrives on consistency. When you anchor your wake time to the same hour daily, your brain begins naturally preparing to wake up before the alarm even goes off. Within just 2 weeks, mornings start feeling less like a battle and more like a natural transition into your day. That sets a mentally scattered, anxious tone that follows you for hours, and it might be the most damaging thing you do before your feet even hit the floor. Mistake number 2 is checking your phone first thing in the morning. The moment you unlock that screen, your brain gets hit with a flood of external stimuli. Emails demanding responses, social media notifications pulling your attention, news headlines designed to trigger emotional reactions. All of this happens before your brain has even had a chance to fully wake up. Here is what is actually going on inside your head. Your brain in those early morning moments is in a calm, low-stress state. The moment you start scrolling, cortisol spikes, your nervous system shifts into reactive mode. Now that you understand why reaching for your phone is sabotaging your mornings, let's talk about the fix. It's straightforward but powerful. Implement a strict no-phone rule for the first 30 minutes after waking up. That's it. No scrolling, no checking notifications, no peeking at emails. Just 30 minutes of phone-free time. Instead, fill that window with intentional activities that actually serve you. Try journaling your thoughts, writing down 3 things you're grateful for, or mapping out your intentions for the day. You could do some light stretching, deep breathing, or simply sit in silence with a cup of water and let your mind gradually come online. Your brain naturally moves through a creative, calm state right after waking called the hypnopompic state. Protecting that window means you're allowing your mind to wake up on its own terms, not someone else's agenda, leaving you reaching for yet another cup just to function normally. You wake up and the first thing you reach for is your coffee. It feels like the right move, but here's what's actually happening inside your body. After 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is significantly dehydrated. You've gone the entire night without a single drop of water, and your cells are literally running on empty. Instead of addressing that deficit, most people pour caffeine directly into a dehydrated system. Here's why that backfires. Caffeine on an empty, dehydrated stomach spikes your cortisol levels, which is your primary stress hormone. And since cortisol is already naturally elevated in the morning, adding caffeine on top amplifies that spike dramatically. Without fuel, your brain struggles to concentrate, your focus fades, and cognitive performance drops significantly during those critical morning hours. Before reaching for your coffee, drink at least 1 full glass of water, roughly 16 ounces, right after waking. You can add lemon for an extra metabolic boost. Then enjoy your coffee after 30 minutes, once cortisol levels begin to naturally taper. This one shift alone can dramatically stabilize your energy throughout the morning. Now, while you are fueling your body with water, you also need to think about actual food. Which brings us to mistake 4, skipping breakfast or eating completely the wrong foods. Many people either rush out the door without eating anything, or grab a sugary cereal, a pastry, or a processed snack bar. These choices send your blood sugar skyrocketing, only to crash hard an hour later. No thinking, no scrambling, just eating well and moving forward with energy and clarity. Swap the sugary cereal or skipped meal for a breakfast built around protein and healthy fats. Think scrambled eggs with avocado, a handful of mixed nuts, or Greek yogurt with some berries. These foods digest slowly, keeping your blood sugar stable and your brain fueled for hours without the dreaded mid-morning crash. Protein also supports dopamine and serotonin production, which directly impacts your focus and mood. Now, a common pushback here is that mornings are too rushed to think about nutrition. That is exactly where meal prepping the night before becomes a game changer. Spend 10 minutes the evening before preparing your breakfast. Hard-boil some eggs, portion out your yogurt, or prep an overnight oat jar. Now that your body is fueled with the right nutrition, let's talk about something that quietly sabotages even the most well-fed, well-rested people. Mistake number 5 is starting your day with absolutely no clear plan or intention. When you wake up without a priority list, your brain defaults to whatever feels urgent in the moment. You react to emails, you respond to notifications, you bounce between tasks, and before you know it, the entire day has slipped by. Here's the dangerous part. You feel busy, you feel exhausted. But when you look back at what you actually accomplished, the meaningful work never got done. Without intention, your attention becomes a resource that everyone else gets to spend for you. Distraction isn't just a time problem, it's a direction problem. And without direction from the very start, you're essentially navigating your entire day completely blindfolded. When you inevitably miss steps, guilt and pressure flood in, and that negative feeling ironically destroys your motivation before your actual workday even begins. Each evening, spend just 5 minutes writing down your top 3 priorities for the next day. Not 10, not 15, just 3. When you wake up knowing exactly what matters most, your brain shifts from reactive mode into focused, intentional action. That single habit alone can transform how productive your mornings feel. But here is where many people swing too far in the opposite direction, and that brings us to mistake 6, trying to do too many things in the morning routine. You have probably seen those viral morning routine videos featuring 20 steps completed before 7 in the morning. Meditation, cold shower, workout, journaling, reading, meal prep, and the list keeps going. While inspiring, attempting all of this creates an unrealistic standard. That consistency is where the real transformation begins. Simple. Strip your morning routine down to just 3 to 5 non-negotiable habits. That is it. Choose the ones that genuinely move the needle for your energy, focus, and mindset, and commit to those every single day without exception. Maybe it is hydrating, journaling, and a 10-minute walk. Maybe it is meditation, a healthy breakfast, and reviewing your top 3 priorities. Whatever combination works for you, keep it tight and keep it doable. Here is the truth most productivity gurus will not tell you. A shorter routine done consistently will always outperform an elaborate routine done occasionally. Skipping this step means starting already chemically behind. Skipping movement or exercise in the morning. You do not need to run a marathon or spend an hour at the gym, but completely avoiding physical activity in the morning is quietly sabotaging your mental performance before your workday even begins. Here is what happens when you move your body early. Physical activity increases blood flow directly to the brain, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to the regions responsible for decision-making and focus. Simultaneously, your body releases endorphins, those natural feel-good chemicals that reduce stress and sharpen mental clarity. But it does not stop there. Morning movement also triggers a significant boost in dopamine and serotonin levels. These 2 neurotransmitters are absolutely critical for sustained concentration, emotional regulation, and maintaining a positive, motivated mood throughout the entire day. Your mental state shapes everything that follows. Even 10 minutes of stretching, a brisk walk, jumping jacks, or a short bodyweight circuit is enough to wake up your nervous system and shift your brain into a focused, energized state. The key is simply to move your body before sitting down to work. Now, once you have addressed physical movement, there is still another layer most people completely ignore. This brings us to mistake 8, neglecting mental priming or mindset work. Most people roll out of bed, maybe exercise, and then immediately dive into tasks, emails, or responsibilities. But without any intentional mindset preparation, you are essentially entering your day emotionally unguarded. When challenges arise, and they always do, you react instead of respond. You feel scattered, overwhelmed, and drained far earlier than necessary. You build emotional resilience, sharpen focus, and show up as the best version of yourself from the very first hour. Dedicate just 5 minutes each morning to mindset work and watch how differently your entire day unfolds. This could be gratitude journaling, where you write 3 things you genuinely appreciate. It could be affirmations that reinforce your identity and goals. It could be 5 minutes of quiet meditation or a brief visualization of how you want your day to go. This is not wishful thinking. This is science-backed mental conditioning. Top athletes visualize their performance before competition. Fortune 500 executives practice meditation and journaling before stepping into high-stakes meetings. They understand that your internal state determines your external results, already in service of everyone else's needs rather than your own. Mistake 9 is letting other people dictate your morning. The moment you wake up and immediately respond to a text, answer a phone call, or jump into solving someone else's problem, you have handed over the most valuable part of your day before it has even begun. Think about what that actually means. You wake up with intentions, with goals, with things that matter to you. But the second you react to someone else's demands first, you are no longer running your morning. They are. And this is not just about strangers or co-workers. It includes family members, partners, even well-meaning friends. When their agenda comes before your personal morning priorities, you start every single day already behind. Guard it fiercely because that time belongs to you first. Protect the first 30 to 60 minutes of your morning as sacred, non-negotiable personal time. Think of it like a meeting with yourself that cannot be cancelled or rescheduled. Start by having an honest conversation with family members. Let them know that this window is important for your mental clarity and overall well-being. Most people respect boundaries when they understand the reason behind them. Next, enable Do Not Disturb settings on your phone the night before, so notifications cannot pull you away the moment you wake up. And if your household gets busy early, consider waking up 30 minutes earlier than everyone else. That quiet window before the world demands your attention is where your best thinking and most intentional habits live. Now we arrive at the final and perhaps most overlooked mistake of all, and that is inconsistency in your morning routine. You might be doing everything right Monday through Wednesday, waking up early, hydrating, moving your body, setting your intentions. But then Friday night hits, the weekend arrives, or a stressful situation throws you off, and suddenly the entire routine gets abandoned. Here is the problem with that pattern. Habits become automatic through repetition. When you practice your routine only 3 or 4 days a week, your brain never fully encodes it as a default behavior. You are essentially starting over every few days. Neuroscience tells us that consistency is what builds the neural pathways that make habits feel effortless. Without that regularity, you are always fighting friction. The compounding benefits of a structured morning, better focus, lower stress, higher output, only truly accumulate when the routine shows up reliably, not just when conditions feel perfect. The brain builds stronger automatic patterns when the routine shows up daily, even imperfectly, rather than perfectly but occasionally. You stop aiming for perfection and start protecting the streak instead. The most powerful rule you can adopt is never miss twice. Missing one day happens to everyone. Missing 2 days in a row is where habits go to die. On hard days, chaotic mornings, or low-energy days, commit to a minimum viable version of your routine. That might mean just 10 minutes of hydration, 1 minute of deep breathing, and a quick review of your top 3 priorities. It is not glamorous, but it keeps the habit alive. Think of it like a pilot light on a stove. Every small, deliberate choice you make before 9 in the morning compounds quietly over weeks, months, and years into extraordinary productivity, clarity, and momentum you never thought possible. 1. Stop hitting snooze and anchor a consistent wake time. 2. Ditch the phone for the first 30 minutes. 3. Drink water before coffee to rehydrate properly. 4. Fuel your brain with protein and healthy fats. 5. Write down your top 3 priorities before diving into work. 6. Keep your routine lean with 3 to 5 non-negotiable habits. 7. Move your body, even briefly, to boost dopamine and focus. 8. Spend 5 minutes priming your mindset through gratitude or meditation. Thank you for watching. Do not try to fix everything at once. That path leads straight back to overwhelm. Instead, go back through everything covered today and pick just 1 or 2 fixes that resonated most with you. Maybe it is placing your phone across the room. Maybe it is drinking water before coffee. Maybe it is writing down your top 3 priorities before anything else. Whatever it is, start there. Implement it tomorrow morning. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for weekly productivity and self-improvement tips.